guess this is a Geek Den episode, kind of. Either way, we're here with Aaron Markham and our friend Josh, and we're going to talk all about AI. So, it's bound to be interesting. All right, let's get right into this one.
I'm not drinking for this episode, so it's kind of new for me.
That's what's up. Okay.
It's too early here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, welcome.
We can edit. It's cool.
Welcome to the welcome to the digital dilemma.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're here to talk about the large umbrella of AI components that are being executed in the world and softwares today and embedded in everything. You can't get away from it. It is literally everywhere, whether you like it or not. It's on our damn smart TVs now, you know?
Yep.
And there's a lot to talk about, everywhere from enabling disabled people to the de-evolution of artistry. So there's a really goes both ways here in many ways. Maybe we'll start by each of us saying who we are, where we come from, like what we do art-wise, and
all right.
You know.
Actually, that's great.
Hi, everybody, I'm Craig. I'm a journalist and a Geek Den co-host. I guess this is still owner and creator. No, I'm just kidding.
You call yourself a critic? Absolutely, could call yourself a critic.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
And not in the good sense of the word, not in the shitty sense of the word.
Yeah, very true. Way to build me up.
Well, I think it's a fair description. I mean, it'd be right up there. You could say like journalist / critic. You generally write reviews over nostalgic horror, so I mean that's
yep.
that's
go with it. Yeah.
Hell yeah, and it's intelligent, comprehensive, and passionate reviews. Like you're awesome. Oh yeah,
we care about the subject too.
Yeah, it's hard to be like on a lot of stuff. It's really hard to be unbiased, but make it work.
Right. Do the best you can. All right. Jason?
Oh, yeah. All right. I'm Jason. I am a traditional illustrator. I do dabble in computer illustration too, but only so far as it includes a Wacom tablet. Not a big fan of the Intuos screens and whatnot. It's not to say I don't like them. They definitely serve their purpose. It doesn't feel right to me. But on the bonus side, the traditional side of things has now become its own niche little thing that I can now sell. I mean, most of my work comes in off commissions too, so that's somebody wants a traditional piece. That is the idea behind it, which is nice to be sought out for that reason.
Absolutely.
So, as far as what side of the debate I fall on, interestingly, I'm pretty much dead in the middle.
Interesting.
Interesting. I mean, it's like I said, this is a super rich subject. I'm sort of happy that I am not drinking for this episode.
You're happy you're what?
That I'm not drinking for this episode.
Oh yeah, fair. Right on. I mean, I encourage, getting passionate about this. This could, should be a heated debate because it's a passionate, thing.
Well, it's kind of like our future and Hollywood's future at stake, kind of. Which
absolutely.
Yeah.
See, that lends it so much more than it really has if you look at the way innovations have occurred since Photoshop came into existence.
Yeah.
It's like saying like this is where the dead in the middle thing comes. It's the saying that it's, oh my God, it's the end of the industry, this, that, and the other thing. It's not. It's a change.
It is.
Yeah.
It may not be a good one, but it is a change.
Yeah.
Fair.
It is.
Heck yeah. All right. Aaron?
I'm Aaron. I'm a FX creator, designer, actor, voiceover artist, creator of the Legend of Bloody Bones, soon to come.
Name?
Just do all kinds of crazy stuff, Get to be a horror host on the Horror Barbecue on Reaper's Underground.
Nice.
And loved horror movies, everything like that my whole life, artistry. It's like I'm drawn to individuals just like you guys. So
yeah,
I'm all good.
And a master of many voices.
Thank you.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. Seriously, I'm so glad you all are here. Thank you for being here for this.
Of course.
You know,
Fun conversation. Will be.
it really is. So, firstly, the first subject I want to bring up, because there's a lot of negativity that's going to come out here about it. I want to start off on a positive note. One thing I realized before even reading about it was when I had heard of a couple of these AI music generators, and being a musician for so long, I guess I should say who I am. I'm Looney Dingo, and I've been an artist my whole life, from performing in my grandmother's living room to singing, writing songs, recording songs. Played upward of 300 shows live, and I've put hundreds and hundreds of hours into writing. I've written a book, and I paint, and I love art, and I've always been a purist when it came to autotune. Super pissed me off. When it came to,
I don't know. Cher did it right.
right. When it came to,
She used it as a tool.
right, but yeah, like ebooks, everywhere from ebooks to digital drawing tablets, I thought was blasphemy. I was raised that if you look at something when you draw it, you're cheating. So I started in a completely different place.
Every professional artist on this planet will tell you, like, every single one. Use reference.
Yeah. No, I learned it later, and I was like, no wonder my stuff doesn't look right.
The only people that would tell you different are people that, like, 100% don't want any type of adversary that for a job later. The only person that would tell you, no, you got to do this from your brain, is somebody who does not want to have to go against somebody else to get a job.
Interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a really good point. Yeah, I think because of that, wanting to challenge myself to remember the image in my head, I always thought it as cheating. But yeah, I later learned that like real professional artists always use reference, and I was like, oh, yeah. Well. But so yeah, the first thing I want to talk about is, for instance, when it comes to music generation, as well as other things, like a person in a wheelchair with no ability to lift their hands and play an instrument, or someone who's mute, but they have all these beautiful ideas they want to make, and they can't get someone to help them. They don't get the funding, they don't get the understanding, they don't get the product they want. And they'll waste potentially years festering about how frustrating that is. And to see a tool developed that could enable someone like that. And the reason I realized this was because I had actually tore my vocal cords last Christmas. And it really made me rethink things. I had to shut up, firstly, which is not hard for me. And secondly, it dawned on me, like, damn, someone who's been mute their whole life can finally use this to customize a song style, add their custom lyrics, and maybe they may not want to use the recording they get from that, but that could be a great reference to send to someone else to re-record it and refine it
to help them find their voice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the prompt too. Yeah. I mean, it is the way in which the description is given that gives life to whatever it is that's being made.
Absolutely. Every syllable, every space makes a difference.
Say life. I don't want to over credit. Let's not call it life. Let's call it something else. I don't know.
Yeah. So
form. Let's go with form.
And that's probably one of our next subjects is crediting AI. We should talk about that. But yeah. So what are your thoughts on that? The enabling people that can't do these arts classically because of their hindrances.
I absolutely agree.
Anything that allows access to somebody that otherwise would not have it is a worthwhile venture.
Yeah.
Is an important thing.
Yeah. So I think that's
agreed.
We all agree. Yeah, that is a really beautiful side of these tools.
Well, it's also we have the idea, like you do occasionally run across. I don't know the best way to describe the mentality that this invokes, but the people that are like, well, you were born that way. That's the way things are meant to be. There is, yeah, okay, that's great, except for we have both free will and the ability to think our way out of a wet paper bag. So
Yeah.
why would you ever tell somebody you can't do something if they have the ability to do it?
Right.
It's absurd that anybody would ever argue that you can't do this because your body was not properly made to allow it.
1000%.
It does not make any sense at all. That's just somebody being an asshole.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to bring it back to being created, that the maker put that in your brain for a reason, not just to torture you. You know,
Right. Yeah.
if you have an inspiration, it should get out.
Well, you were also said like the description you gave her, the idea that somebody who's literally, I mean, for lack of a better way, locked in. So that's how their mind works. There's an entire
World.
way of thought that is nonstop that could be presented to the world in that manner.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's an important thing.
1000%.
Well, that's what most music, most art, most books are written by experiences and inspirations that the artist has had through their life.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
turn that,
Pounds of cocaine where it comes to Stephen King.
you know, to have that ability when you would normally be denied that ability is got to be one of the best things
Absolutely.
about that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's the same. Like you wouldn't tell somebody not to use a wheelchair. You know what I mean?
Right?
Exactly.
Like you can't walk. You also can't have a wheelchair.
Yeah, you got to stay home. Sorry.
We
Right.
have the ability to put wheels on a seat, but we're not doing it.
You're not meant to move.
It's not intended to move.
Gotcha.
Wheelchairs are for us to
You gotta
use.
stay.
We don't want to walk. Fucking bullshit.
Man. Yeah.
But also, too, when they tell that kind of stuff to people that you can't, nine times out of 10, they prove you wrong.
Yeah,
100%.
That's a lot of fire faster than someone saying you can't.
Yep.
Let me figure it out on my own. Can I not do it? Oh shit, I guess I couldn't. Way to go, you were right, but now I know.
Right.
You never know unless you try.
Yep.
Now,
Although sometimes, as Craig learned the other day with his meme, just because you can does not mean you should.
yes.
Very That's very prevalent today, too, with how stuff is. That's very prevalent.
It is, and it's funny you say that because with the music thing, I take that to the precipice. Like I will combine 6 genres until the AI is like literally feeding me the weirdest, most confused sounds. Like I've broken a couple of my profiles on those because it has no idea how to make music anymore because I like mind fucked it.
Yeah, but that's brilliant, though.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, you're fusing genres that nobody or like people normally wouldn't think to put together.
Yeah,
and you're trying to make this program comprehend something that, you know, is like you could think like what goes through Mozart's mind or something like that. That's how your brain works. That's why I like working with you so much too. It's just it's a flow of creativity that comes out of you that's so genuine.
Thank you, brother.
And it's like, well, it's true. And it's like, I can tell Craig and Jason, they'll probably get this reference. When I first met you and saw your work and your art, the first thing I thought of was Liquid Television off of MTV back in the day.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I was like, about time we got this back. We got that original idea, this person that is just a fountain of creativity. And it's like, dude, that's exactly where I want to be.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot. I vaguely, was that the one that had all like the adult cartoons?
Aeon Flood.
Yeah. Winter Steel, Dog Boy.
Yeah, it's
the Head and the Max.
The Max.
And Aeon Flux came from that.
Right. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. There was an entire, actually, what was it? I feel like, what was that? There was a show in the 90s, Mission Hill. Yeah. It had one season. It was absolutely hilarious. It was way ahead of its time. It was up there with the critic as far as being ahead of its time.
Right.
I think it got its start from the animators from Liquid Television. Like there was an entire flood.
Yeah, what was it? The Brothers Grunt.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, the brothers grunt that all just you had that strange twisted look on their face all the time, and it was just bizarre. But it was creative. It was fun. It was something new. It wasn't the same stuff we've been fed all these years. Something different.
Yeah, and that's a debate on its own. That that everything is derivative. Early on when I talked to artists that were like offended I was using AI assistants to refine this whole project for Metal Earth, I actually lost a voiceover role the day I announced it, because one of them reached out to me. I was going to play a Mushroom King in an animated film, and
that'd have been great.
Yeah, but the guy couldn't come to terms with the fact that even our stuff, as we learn through life from others and we refine our own skills, we're learning from what we see around us in the world. Yeah. And one of my main points on AI, what they get upset about, and I understand the frustration. People are like, they're stealing my art for reference. They're stealing my style. They're stealing this in their database. And a lot of people aren't going to like to hear this, but our brains also steal those images and put them in our brains as reference to learn as well. And if you program, and if you're programming a robot to learn like a human, why are you upset that it's learning like a human?
Right? No, exactly. It's like what you were saying there. It's like, to me, if you tell somebody, okay, describe Jason Voorhees to me, what are you going to do? You're going to say a guy, a big dude,
hockey mask.
Do we need baby Jason, copy Jason, dead-eyed Jason? Which Jason would you like?
Right. Did we lose Aaron?
Oh.
We got a freeze.
No.
Either that or the single stillest person I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Which would also be pretty good.
What an amazing actor.
That's stunning.
He does his role so well. He's done his homework.
Yeah, maybe he'll come back.
Yeah.
No, he had a great point though.
Well, yeah, where he was going with it, which was definitely if you say to describe this, of course, you're going to come up with an amalgamation of all those different Jasons as a descriptor, assuming that you didn't know them all anyways, which is exactly what an AI program would do, yeah?
Yeah.
Literally, it would run through everything. The downside of that, which is, just a devil's advocate argument.
Yeah.
When you get into the credit for creation, if you know an artist's style well enough, you can look at an AI rendering and be like, I know where this fucking came from. I can literally image this came from. And they don't get credit. And the problem is you could get mad at the computer program. Really, what you should be mad at is the different larger corporations that have been in their agreements signing off for years that any image we put up or post is theirs to do with as they please as well.
Right.
Now, granted, obviously, it's like Facebook isn't going to go through, find any of my artwork and be like, advertise Facebook with it. But they can definitely use it to scrape information.
Right. Now, I have a question for you, though. What's the difference between that and an artist emulating your art style? Like, if I learned really hard to draw like you, and I did it out of love for your style, and I was like, hey, here's an ode to my buddy who's this artist. I did it in his style. I have two. What I say that
I've got two. I know what you're saying. I get exactly what you're saying. I have two answers.
Cool.
One is really simple and one is sort of involved. The simple answer is it's the difference between a swipe and an homage. So
because you said they weren't crediting you either.
Yeah, so you have in comic, for anybody that runs across this, swipe is a comic book industry term, wherein somebody uses somebody else's artwork and adjust things on it. That basically they'll just trace, and then they'll change things a little bit, and suddenly you have a new character in the exact same pose that another artist has already created, but no credit given. So it's just that's stealing, especially in the industry. You're stealing somebody else's effort. Now, if you go through enough comic books, you'll start to see them everywhere. And a lot of it has to do with the time frame. They've got so long to smack a book together and put it out, especially for the big companies. You got 30 days to create 28 hand-drawn pages. You got to run.
Yeah. Now,
there's also the other variety of that, the homage. An homage, take a Spider-Man, Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man. when that first came out, him sitting in the webs and the different foil covered books, silver, gold, and then the regular book. So many people have redrawn that cover with different characters and different things in place of the webs, but it's an homage. It's a way to acknowledge that was a major turning point.
I see, yeah.
And it's always like everybody who sees that knows where it came from. They know exactly where it came from, and no artist would ever try to pretend like it was theirs.
Yeah, true.
So the homage versus swipe. That is my first argument. The other one, which is actually kind of puts it back on artists, which is kind of shitty, but it there's a reason. You mentioned digital art earlier, right? And the fact that as a traditional artist, it sort of felt like cheating to you, and there's a reason for that because it is.
Yeah.
I mean, as you have Photoshop, you can layer, you can remove a layer, you can have the computer do what you need to do to put drop shadows in place. You can do all these things without ever having to touch pencil to paper.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the industry moved towards that. So like most artists now are digital artists.
Yeah.
That's how they work. They work because that's how you can produce the fastest, best quality image.
Right. You get all the paintbrushes, all the options.
Yeah. And so you have everything right there. The downside is that lends itself so easily to a computer program looking at the art and interpreting it because it was done in a computer to begin with.
Right.
The computer can make all the sense in the world out of that. They can't look at photos and figure out hands, but they can look at your illustration on a computer and be like, okay, this has to be here. These are the points of reference, and this is why.
Right.
Okay, so in relation to that, are you familiar with the Ringling School in Florida? This is where Disney animators went for the longest time. This was Disney's main school.
Oh, I didn't know, yeah.
Yeah, so when they still did traditional animation, leading up to the first time a computer was used in Disney, which was the, not to say Tron or any of that, but in their animated stuff, was Beauty and the Beast. It was the chandelier in the ballroom. That was the first time. A lot of the artists got annoyed because they were like, well, shit, there goes our job. They're going to take our jobs. And, of course, Disney responded, but no, we would never do such a thing. We would never do that. And they kept pushing for more artists to load up at the Ringling School. They went to this school, and they literally drilled into them how to draw the Disney way so hard that most of them lost the ability to do what they did originally in their own style.
Wow.
They can draw Disney. That's what they can do. And they do it incredibly well.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this was the 90s, obviously.
Right.
But, of course, he is arguing that we are not going to have computers replace you guys. This is very important. So all these guys go, they pay, they learn how to draw Disney. That's all they can draw. They get out, and the next thing you know, they're like, hey, we just figured out how to do a herd of buffalo in The Lion King. Turns out we don't fucking need a lot of you. They go over, and they team up with Pixar. The next thing you know, there are no hand-drawn animated films again until Princess and the Frog.
True, yeah.
And even that, there's some dirty shit for why they chose to do that hand-animated. But that is neither here nor there. I'm not going to accuse them of being a racist company. But well, they used to. All right, fucking, I'll get into it. They used to vault all their movies, right? You remember that they would put them up, and for every 10 years they'd re-release them.
Right.
You buy them on VHS or DVD. So the idea with Princess and the Frog, a lot of people, it's a little cynical, but a lot of people were like, no, y'all did this so that you didn't have to acknowledge it took you this long to make an American black Disney princess.
Man.
So you hand animated it, so it's sort
of. It was
like
retro to that old collection, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, so in another 20 years, people are just going to watch and be like, yeah, it's one of the hand animated movies.
They're cool, they're hip.
Yeah, everything was fine. But that's not. It was a load of shit. Point of the matter is, a lot of what's going on with AI being able to strip digital art is down to the artist using a digital platform to create. It's not the computer's fault. It's not even really the artist's fault. But you cannot gripe about something using information that you readily created for it. I have hand-drawn stuff that I have my kid that I put up on Facebook, and every now and then Facebook Meta will offer to show me an AI version of my drawing. It can't. It always looks stupid.
Yeah.
Horribly. It cannot interpret it. But it can interpret the digital shit I've done.
Oh.
So, and that's not, and bear in mind, like a larger, like something like DaVinci or something like that, like a larger program, would probably quite easily be able to do it, but it's got computer farms all over the place to do that.
True.
You know?
Yeah, I was going to say that too, because my art's very weird, and it's taken until this year for it to even start to detect the characters that I draw and refine them.
It is
because when you are that unique and refined with your hand, it doesn't understand the human mind that way. abstract. Like it gets the concept, but it can't just pick it up on its own usually.
Yeah, it's from like Craig was talking about with the game and whatnot. It's like prompt after prompt after prompt that you have to throw at it to get it to sort of pick up.
For real, dude.
Whereas you could talk to a person and be like, "This is what I need it to do." And if you have an animator or somebody who understands what they're doing, they're like, "Okay," and they'll code the shit or they'll draw the shit.
Yeah, 1,000%. But you're also paying a lot more for that service too. So someone with no budget who's just trying to make their project happen.
Which is the other thing about it. That's back to accessibility, right? Like it is. People like if I were to sit down and try and make my own cartoon, I could do it in Adobe Flash, easily. Not that Adobe Flash is used anymore because fuck it. But it's something I could do.
Yeah. And
if I wanted to hand draw cell by cell and scan in individual images, I could, but it would take me a fucking eternity by myself. Yeah. And that's. I mean, if it's a labor of love sort of thing, that's one thing. But if you have the ability to have a computer do it for you and it's a good idea, then why shouldn't you run with it? That's the same as like if you have access to Photoshop, why wouldn't you use Photoshop?
Yeah.
It's there. Use it.
Especially like you said, when things become an industry standard and you're going to fall behind and lose the job that someone else is going to get. That's rough. It's a cutthroat. And that's kind of part of why, in a way, I've posted about this before. I, more than anyone, think that artists should be paid for their work. But the idea that if it was illegal to monetize the arts, like in some alternate reality,
right,
and you could only do the arts because you love it, that competition there to get the jobs wouldn't quite be there for monetary value, and that usage of those tools would have become less, I believe.
No. Well, I mean, when you had so Photoshop, I don't know if anybody, if you guys know this, Photoshop came into existence because of Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah, it was created as a way just to move files. That was its whole purpose, and then it turned into you could also edit the files, and then the edit started. Like the reason why it's called Photoshop is not because you work with photos in it specifically. The reason it's called Photoshop is because a lot of the techniques that you use, like the smudge tool and the blur tool and stuff like that, people used to do by hand while they were developing film.
Yep.
So like the reason why the icon for the smudge tool is a finger is because literally developing film, they would put their fingers into the development fluid and they would run across the surface. And that's how you would get different blending techniques. Same thing with masking and like you would develop to different layers. It got its name for a specific reason. The thing that changed is it became digital.
Yeah.
And it was pushed so far beyond what it was meant to be. And now it is this incredible tool wherein you can create anything you can imagine.
Anything.
And that's the thing is, when anybody saying that AI is going to take jobs and this, that, and the other thing, it very well could. It probably is going to. But the thing is, it's going to adapt, and people will also adapt to use it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I think it'll take jobs as well as it'll create them at the same time.
Absolutely. Welcome back, Aaron.
Oh yeah, hi Aaron.
Yeah. No, we've been having storms in Texas left and frickin' right, so our power grid net connection is crap.
Oh, I mean, you're back on.
That was a really good point, man. I love all the things you're saying.
What's the downside is when people, if you have, back to the devil's advocate argument, when I was mentioning Todd McFarlane and that first Spider-Man cover and the fact that there are so many homages and you know exactly where it got it from. The thing is, he has such a recognizable style, you could go into AI and be like Todd McFarlane-esque cover. You know?
True. Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm saying too. You don't have to. So one thing, I'll give some of my secrets away. Like I use something, not that they're secrets, I'm very open about it, but I use Whisk. And Whisk is actually an experimental program that, what's the name of the app? Pixar came out with. Mm. And you can use up to like 3 reference photos and then add to the prompt on what you want to create, literally in any style. You'd be like, turn this into a plushie, mix them all around, turn them into a plushie, keychain, whatever.
Right.
HD CG render of this character, whatever. But there is a stipulation. They reiterate quite often that you can only use your own material and not copyrighted material. They're like, make sure you own these images because it's a violation of our policies and you will be,
Right.
There's the
whatever. I don't know what the repercussions are because I don't do that, but like,
the rub, though.
I don't want to know.
Not a law. No law has been violated if you do it. Just their policies.
Right.
Which is where the other argument, where once again, devil's advocate argument, there should be regulation. I mean, there should be some, like, if you can backtrack an image and prove where it came from and you were given no credit, there should be something for that.
Yeah.
Maybe a payment. It would be great if there was a payment, but maybe not a payment, but at least acknowledgement that your material was the source material.
Right.
That it would be great. And there are, like I said, if you know an artist's style well enough, you can look at an AI generated image and be like, I know where that fucking came from.
Right. And what's cool though about on Whisk, I actually think this is a neat way they're doing it, is you can share what's called recipes, and it's the images you used and the prompt. So you literally know the exact like magic
formula, right?
Recipe to make it. And therefore, in a way, the root is being credited. You see where it was sourced from, which I think is a beautiful thing. That needs to continue.
Yeah. It would be nice if it was an across the board sort of thing.
Yeah, because a lot of these, like especially AIs in other countries, they don't have those regulations. They don't give a crap.
No, that's not why they're doing it. It's they can produce whatever they want at speed.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
You can see it in a lot of the newer anime that's come out. I would argue there's some of the newer seasons of different shows. They look a little bit different. They're a little bit off. Not bad, just different. And you can tell it's because and granted, those guys have a grueling schedule. Like their shit has to be.
Oh yeah. They fire them out.
Yeah. You know what got me yesterday is I finally watched Beetlejuice, and there was some decapitated head scene, and I was like, man, I could have animated that better. And
right,
I'm like, damn, some dude probably or woman took the time to really try and make that work, and it still didn't look great. Meanwhile, I could just take the still image and write a prompt and probably make it look smoother.
Yeah,
which is bizarre.
It's like I have that happen with me sometimes, because I'm a self-taught makeup guy since I was like 14 years old, like since I was a little kid, and I'm in my 40s, so I've been doing this for a long time. But it's the same kind of thing as like what Looney was saying, was it's like I've got inspirations. I have movies from the 80s and horror, all this kind of different stuff, heavy metal, bands. That's like real artists that people hang their stuff up and paint in museums and stuff. But for me, it's how I mix it together and put my influence and my spin on it to make it completely my own.
Absolutely.
Every single artist does that. It's like you were saying, everybody is going to use reference photos. Yeah. Everybody can either use this as a tool.
Use reference photos.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Very much. Yeah. Exact. Actors. It's like, I need to walk a certain way. Oh, like, okay, for First Leatherface, right? What did they do? Go meet people that are mentally disturbed.
Yeah.
Really mentally disturbed. Same thing they did for Michael for Halloween. So the difference between fake and real when you see it as the director or actor.
Shay.
We all know William Shatner is.
Oh, yes.
Right. Welcome, Reaper.
How's it going?
Brother.
It's good to have you here, man.
Glad to be here, brother.
Fucking A. You want to say who you are and what you do, just because we had done that with us a bit earlier? Your background?
Yes. I am a little bit of everything. I am a podcast host for the Reapers Underground Network, as well as musician and almost full-time independent horror actor.
Hell yeah. That's what's up. So yeah, we've covered enabling the disabled with some of these tools to start off on a positive note, which we all agreed on was a pretty cool thing.
Very much so.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and now we're talking about, every aspect of these tools and how, the politics and the morals behind it.
That's where the real It comes in. What it really comes down to is the moral outrage that launched around it, and it all goes back. It goes back to the Ringling School thing. I mean, just like learning an entire method of creating and then finding out your job has been completely destroyed by somebody typing into a computer. What
Absolutely.
is, though, that's not the only industry that's ever happened in. That's been going on since the advent of computers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I spoke to a buddy at Pixar about this early on when we started this project to see what, what was going on in the actual animation world of those professionals. And basically when it got down to it, he's like, we've known this has been coming for a long time. If you're in the industry, you knew. And if you didn't prepare, just like any other industry, and adapt as you went to become more efficient, you're gonna fall behind.
Yep.
And it sucks.
Yeah.
I get it, man. I get the purist mentality. Like I said, I was forever when it came to auto tune and digital drawing. I just now got a tablet to draw on like 6 months ago for the first time.
I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of, warned us way back in the 80s that this was coming.
Yes, sir.
Just ask James Cameron.
Right.
Now here's my question. Do you believe that AI should be credited?
I think it should be credited as a tool.
Okay.
As a tool, sure, but not as an actual artistic entity like a person. You can't do that because I believe that when it comes to like the art part of it, the person creating it is just inputting, what a single idea, and then the rest is done. I don't know if you could really do that and credit that as an
entity.
Yeah,
Right.
I just don't think that's possible.
Plus,
because too many people can do the same thing.
that's true.
That's kind of where it gets.
Right.
That's where it gets rough.
Right, and you see in credits like this is the software that was used, which is cool. That's fine. But essentially, the core aspect of AI is that it's pulling from human content and human prompts.
Creators.
And so without it, it just sits there and does nothing.
Right. Yeah. Like, do you credit the hammer when you built a house?
Depends on the hair.
I did.
Right, I guess it depends on the hammer, right?
It's an interesting point.
But I mean, yeah, that's kind of the thing there. It's like they don't ever credit the paints and the paintbrushes for like the Mona Lisa.
Now, I will say, so there's a difference between like, you can, like with that whisk tool I was talking about, I can put in like one of my original paintings and I can be like, create a picture of a hippopotamus with this exact same art style, and it'll adhere to my art style. But that's cheating yourself, number one.
Well, yeah.
Number two.
Yeah, true.
Like, I think it's a cool tool though.
But I mean, in this aspect, on that, right? Let's, like you very well know for Metal Earth, and we all know from multiple different projects, no character ever starts out how they were first created and ends up on screen that way. They go through all these different ideas or concepts.
Absolutely.
And they can use, and I'm sure they do, they use AI to do that, like you said. Okay, it has to be in this art style. We want this character with this, like as a wizard, or we want this style of character as a whatever they're doing.
Right.
So they get their different ideas to just still, it's just a tool because the artist is putting their own influence and
100%
creativity.
Yeah.
Now, I will say there's a difference though between some of these like seemingly more sentient things like DeepSeek, where like if you put in a concept, man, it'll straight up be like, hey, what if we did this? Or like, what if that character went there instead? And like, you added this to and you're like, okay, that's actually not a shitty idea. Some of that, but like now it's somebody, it feels like it's somebody you're working with.
Right. Right.
That's where the credit, in my opinion, seems like on a gray area, because someone who literally doesn't have an idea could be like, hey, I just saw this movie that did this. what are some other cool ideas like that have never been done before? And then it'll just give them a list. And you're like, oh, that's cheating. Like,
well, I mean, it's the same concept, you know, getting online, looking up a list of, hey, has this ever been done in a movie before? Because
true, but you're thinking of the new idea.
You know, but you're reaching out to see what's done before.
Right.
True. You know what I mean? And it's like, but I see what you're saying, to be able to use it as like a jumping off brainstorming tool.
Right.
Spark their creativity.
I don't think it's like you're going to actually see that credited in, or do you, in an animated film? Now, I can't ever say that I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
You know, you always, whoever's behind it, you know, the one pulling the strings is the one that gets the credit in those films.
Right, true.
I don't think they ever mention, you know, what type of animation tools they use.
They're like, shout out to my good friend DeepSeek.
Because I think at that point you really don't have to, because, you know, you were talking about how you took a piece of art and then you put it through a program and it gave you something different, or you were able to add something different.
Right.
Well, the artist still remains right there. I mean, that was your artwork, whether AI added something or not. Absolutely. You know, that credit that credit belongs to you. I kind of feel the same way in animation. You know, if you came up with those original designs, which, you know, especially, you know, in Metal Earth, that's really what it is. I mean, this is your creations, your what you've put together, and you're just letting, you know, the AI part do its thing, and that's a beautiful marriage right there.
Yeah,
I don't feel you have to create or give credit to the tool that you use, because at the end of the day, it's your brainchild, it's your love child.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's like this has said. It's, to me, it's like crediting the pen when you wrote the novel.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like you were the so that's what I said. It's like, as soon as you had described Metal Earth to me, it's like, that sounds so much fun.
Hell yeah.
There's heart, there's action, there's all this in there.
In my head.
Like, no way that a cold, unfeeling machine could put into it. You can feel you through it. Each person, it's like, for Craig, he's one of the badass little beavers I've ever seen.
Hell yeah.
You know, like,
I love it.
It's a thing you put in the vibe. Same thing as Mortimer over there with Reaper. You know, General Throck here. You know, it's like, you put us in there. Somehow you taught this machine to give the flavor of what we would be bringing to the parts.
Hell yeah.
That's nothing that AI could do on its own. Like you said, it's a program that's just sitting there.
Technically, it could, but no, not in this case.
Yeah, they're working on that.
Right.
They're sampling people's voices now.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's switch subjects a little bit, because there's a lot to talk about. We can talk about that next. So, let me look on the list how it's worded, because such as, you know, your voice being stolen, your imagery being stolen. Like Reaper recently, we've done something really interesting. This Big Top Circuits show that we're working on.
Oh yeah.
His face is literally in the film, and I photoshopped his face onto the character and then animated him
so
that he's literally alive inside this show.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wanted to be very careful. I made it clear, and I was like, man, we gotta, like, I love you, I trust you, but we got to do a contract, because I want to protect you and me, because this is a new tech and it's, you know, kind of scary. Like,
right.
Yeah.
You don't want your imagery just willy-nilly out there. Someone can do anything with it, you know?
But see, you're also an artist that looked towards that because you're a fellow artist. You're not trying to chop him off at the knees to get what you want out of the project.
Right.
You know, and leave him dangling in the wind. But that's because you're an artist. That's what I'm saying. You're an artist that cares.
But there's a lot that don't, and that's our problem.
No,
and people's faces are going to be stolen. We're already seeing celebrities in fake posters. And
oh yeah,
Shit, I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger in a Terminator AI animated short that was really effing good. And I know he didn't sign off for that.
We handed off our rights, though. I don't know, like a lot of people have a tendency to forget that we legitimately, with the advent of social networking and just the rise of the internet and any like the TikToks, anything else that you have done, we unintentionally gave our rights to bitch about it.
Oh, when we signed the, I agree. I agree.
Anytime you have ever signed it, and granted, if you wanted to go to court over it, you might find a judge that could look at it and be like, okay, yeah, no, this is bullshit. Who's going to read 800 pages just to get to the part where it says you can do what you want with my face? But that's kind of the point. That's the point of a contract, and we've been sort of pushed towards just getting through the shit and checking I agree because we don't want to read it. And that's intentional. That's on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I mean, anybody, which also goes back to the thing about artists being mad at AI taking their artwork that they used a computer to create and then extrapolating from it. Is you gave it the seed, and then you gave it the permission.
Yes, and that's what they actually call it, dude. When you upload those, when they come up with those recipes on Whisk, those images and everything, my painting is called a seed. So they're like, add your seeds, and
that makes sense. That makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
All right. But it's not even with the voice thing. Like we have given away full autonomy at the cost of having a more connected world. It's not. I'm not saying that makes it right. And once again, it'd be great if there was some variety of legal path to making sure that it didn't happen that way.
Right.
But there's really not. There's not. I mean,
Well, it's like for me, I've actually heard my voice as Toxie on somebody else's on a different ad that had nothing to do with trauma or anything like and I didn't do anything about it. Mainly to the point is my voice for that when I do him, it's literally like what you would do if you were doing the typical superhero. Hey guys, how are you? You know, that kind of thing. Hey kids, you know, stuff like that. So it's like anybody and their grandma to me can do that. That's not something extra special in my repertoire of voices and things to make me chase after it.
Right.
But if you're going to use me and put me in something that I really am against, then you better, respect my feelings on the subject and take me down.
Well, and it's when it's actually your mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Audio that you recorded.
Doesn't that kind of fall under likeness rights, though?
I was going to say, one path you may have to follow is because of Crispin Glover in Back to the Future 2.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
The one route you may be able to go from a legal standpoint if someone is profiting off your image.
True.
Now giving both credit and money. It's not something you can do. So if there's a stream of revenue created by something using your image, AI or otherwise, then you have a course of action. But if it's somebody that's just doing it, like if you mentioned like the deep fake thing, I mean, you could literally tell a computer, give me Tom Cruise talking about sucking David Miscavige. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You can get a perfect version of Tom Cruise doing exactly that.
Yep.
And nobody can do shit because suddenly it's parody, and as long as you release it for free, nobody can say a word.
Yeah, it's the moment that you start making money, I think, is where the law really kind of comes in.
But how many people use that as a way to create other jobs for themselves?
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's like, I'm sure we've all seen it where they'll put out that horror game that's got Candyman, Tall Man from Phantasm, everything you can think of. And they'll put the whole game out for people to play. Right?
Yeah.
Just like biggest ripoff of Mortal Kombat you could possibly think of. And as long as they don't make money off it, they can do it.
As they say, donations accepted.
Yeah.
But
always a loophole.
No, exactly. And then they use that money to create another thing. Did they not use a product to benefit off of and create work for themselves?
Right.
That's when you have to run all the way back.
Still use it.
Like you have to go all the way back to where it started to be able to prove any of that happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And
see,
so
that's exactly the
you have the money to sit and sue somebody in court for that long. And even then, it was a lawsuit enough. Is it going to stop anything, or do they just have to give you a little bit of a payout?
right. That's
Yeah.
not even going to affect their bottom end at any point, you know. So yeah, that's
Well, yeah, and then you've got
Well,
flattering usage. You've got, okay, I guess they used it, like whatever. And then there's like blasphemy. Like if someone took a screenshot of all of our faces right now and created a fucking lemon party picture, I wouldn't be a super big fan of that.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, don't go to any website that I'm on after this.
right.
I get
Well,
very little
I think-
enjoyment out of these things other than that.
I think it would be completely different if, you know, like Aaron had said previously, if it gets used for, let's say, hate speech or you know, something that is just, you know, not indicative of that person, or, you know, especially public, because most of us are public figures.
Yeah.
So if it gets used for, I guess, evil, then I think that could still possibly, you might be able to protect yourself from that.
Well, you also come into
You know,
like the
somehow.
nefarious, like conspiracy theory related version of it that the deep fake thing has been pushed to the forefront by people in power so that they could deny when something happens.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
like, oh,
that's
it doesn't
believable
matter,
too,
deep fake.
though. That's a believable argument in a lot of cases, especially with a lot of stuff that we've seen going on all over the freaking world lately. That's real. That doesn't surprise me one bit. But it's also too, I mean, you could go into this argument the same thing as what about the performing holograms?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Somebody owns the licensing on that, though.
you see, which
True.
is
Owns
insane because
Tupac.
that
They
means
pay for
I
that.
think
well, yeah, but that means you own a human being that's not even alive.
pretty much.
Or you have
Pretty much. But that human being sold their likeness.
They sold it.
Yeah, or did they?
Kiss.
I mean, that's the
Kiss
whole
is the
thing.
prime example.
Yeah.
Just kiss.
And Aaron, what's the difference? What's the
Well, look
difference
at Elvis.
between
Elvis
that and when Aaron
Yeah.
like works the curb for extra cash?
Hey, coffins are expensive, okay?
Nobody's judging, man. Make the money.
Sell yourself.
That's 100%. Sometimes you got to hike your fishnets up and just go.
You know,
Right.
all right.
Real quick,
Like,
we've all been talking a lot. Craig, do you have anything to add on
I mean,
stuff?
I do. I just think, you know, the main argument I see is, you know, people think you're cheating or something. They don't understand, like, oh, you're making this movie for free. But, like, dude, there is so much time and money going into these apps and everything like that. Like, this ain't free, you know? We're not doing this for a hobby. This is, like, we're paying money to do this, you know what I mean? Just because it's not, like,
Right. Yeah.
creative to their perception, it's, yeah.
They're upset that we're not paying, you know, an animator $3,000 a week to be like, hey, his tail's not moving right, man.
Yeah.
And that also, by the way, goes back to the point that you could say to an animator, his tail's not moving right, and he'd be like, oh, shit, let me fix that. Whereas an editor is like, yeah, his tail's moving, though. You said move. It's moving.
Right. But then you just take another 15 minutes, rerun the prompt 3 times, and finally his tail moves perfectly.
Right.
And you're like, cool, I didn't have to wait a week for him to animate the tail. And it cost me a tiny amount of the price.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And
yeah, because
real quick, the biggest debate I hear on this usage is the people say they're upset about the energy usage that these AIs use, you know, because of the power needed.
I do have a very, very relatable point on that at the moment.
But once I've researched it, it is a negligible amount of energy. It's like if you left your lights on for half a day.
Yeah.
Yes, only when averaged out across every energy user. The places where they put these server farms, they just put several in Georgia. Here's the thing. Before they did that, there was a vote on it. Georgia Power, which is where we get our electricity from. Obviously, it's a government utility, but it's still privately owned. You know what I mean? There is no alternative to Georgia Power. You must use Georgia Power. So they put the server farms in, and they knew what they were going to do. They knew what was going to happen, and apparently they explained it at the meeting that they held in like the middle of the night somewhere that everybody was invited to, that basically they were going to get the server farms here in order to create jobs. To offset the cost and offset the taxes, they were going to increase the rates for everybody using Georgia Power. We are now paying around $600 a month for fucking electricity.
Ooh, holy shit.
Yeah, it's no joke. Like we're using like,
whoa.
They were kind enough to say, hold on, they were kind, bear in mind, it was 3 large server farms they dropped in. But the thing is, they were kind enough to say, okay, we've heard your complaints. We're going to lock the rates in. They locked the rates in at the highest rate. So we're basically blasting through $20 a day now.
Oh, my God.
Just on average, sometimes higher, sometimes lower, even though we're using way less electricity. So it is a negligible amount when you look at everybody using power. It is not a negligible amount when you are in the place that has the server farms.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, and you're talking on a mass scale. I'm talking individually animating a bunch of animations by yourself.
Right. Oh, I thought you were referring to like literally.
But you bring up the perfect segue. Like, when you add us all up, like I read the other day, it was like some absurd trillions amounts of dollars is going to be spent in the next 3 years on AI.
Oh, and I would also like to say it's not the AI, anybody using AI's fault. That's actually the deals put in place to get the server farms to create jobs. It's once again our government's fault.
That's a really good point, bro. Thank you for saying that. So don't yell at the artists.
Yeah,
or the creators.
Well, no.
It's rarely ever the people using the tool. It's the way in which the tool is used.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like the thing, like just to go back for half a second, when you were talking about like with the artists and their voices when they're singing, right? It's like you can jump on YouTube right now, type in Red Hot Chili Peppers heard wrong. And it is Anthony Kiedis as you can get. It's his voice, and he is saying some of the craziest stuff you've ever, and it is hilarious. He didn't sign off on it.
I didn't have to.
That's what, like,
no, you don't have to, because it's just, but it's like, in part, if it's just something funny and you're not getting nothing out of the deal and you're not really going against this, it shouldn't be a big deal.
Right.
Because parody does exist. It's like, we're not all Weird Al, no, but still, even he asked permission.
True.
Very
true.
Parody's important. It's an important.
It is.
It is. It takes the piss out of people. You need to do that sometimes because people need to be humble. They forget to be humble.
Well, it's also, you could argue that parody is the way in which we learn to understand our world anyways. I mean, if you can make fun of something correctly, it proves you understand it.
That's so true.
Well, and it's like the old adage, if you can't laugh at yourself, then you're taking yourself too seriously.
There's nobody, unless you are literally like curing cancer, you're whatever you're doing is not that important. I promise you it's not.
Right. Yeah.
If it's not a life on the line, it's not important. It's something
I laugh at myself every day.
Yeah, exactly. It's something you're passionate about. It's something that you've got interest in, but it's to a large degree, unless you're doing something like that, you're not going to fully change the world as we see it by one thing, but you can create movements, same as art movements happen and social movements and stuff like that. And if those have legs to stand on, they have more lasting power.
Yeah.
At times, it seems, than fads, because that's the problem for me with the industry is fad chasing.
Oh, well, yeah, but that's what sells. That's where the money is.
Right. Yeah, and that's the problem to me is it's like it sells because people are just going to go, okay, I'll take the same crap over and over again. It's like the people that'll go to like a fast food place and never get anything but exactly the same order. It's like you don't want to try anything different. And it's like, to me, you're hurting yourself as an audience viewer. You're limiting like the cool stuff you could experience.
Don't just get the one thing. There's a bunch of stuff that tastes like a burrito.
Right.
Exactly.
But you're right. You're hindering yourself from growth at that point.
Yeah.
Learning. Yeah.
But it's like the same thing with this into that. If an artist, like you said, like you are, same thing. I'm very traditional with my stuff. I don't have an entire shop full of molds, that I've made at 3, it's like, I don't have the money nor the ability to do that.
Right.
I'm the MacGyver of special effects because I work off of the budget I have in my pocket, so it's like,
You make it happen.
The original
I try to reach my vision the best that I can, because if I don't, it drives me crazy. And it's like, work on something like you said, like, oh, I worked on this a month. Oh, it sucks. And I'll just pitch it.
Sometimes
it's the purest form of thinking outside the box, Well,
that's what I try to do. It's like I try to keep myself to my standard.
Yeah.
Not anybody else's standard, just my own. It's like, would I be proud to put this out?
That's a perfect example. Like I worked on a puppet when I was in Texas, a full body puppet, the first one I ever did, with like a cardboard core that was beautiful, but it wasn't quite what I wanted, and it was a good learning experience, so I'm going to do it better next time, and I trashed it. Like, sometimes you just got to move on instead of obsessing over making it work.
It is a horrible feeling, though.
It is.
It's time and effort into something, and then you're just like, it isn't going to work. No matter what I do, I cannot make this work.
Yeah.
But you learn from it, though.
Exactly. It's like I've had that happen for cosplay, because I would do cosplays for horror conventions and stuff like that. And it's like, some of them, it's like I worked months on it all myself just to do it. And it's like, if I don't look at myself in the mirror and go, I look just like that. Okay, I'm hitting everything to me that says, oh, I'm Jordy from Creepshow, or I'm this, I'm that. And then the thing that matters to me, I don't get paid for it. It's not even really exposure. It's the people coming up to me and going, oh man, you look amazing. Can I take a picture with you? Or seeing a little kid go,
that's the payoff.
Oh, yeah. Look. That's like the same thing when I'm Toxie. My favorite experience as Toxie is little kids running up to me.
Oh, I
look like Avenger, from the original film. I'm not the animated version for Toxic Crusade.
Nope.
I look pretty graphic, and they come, oh my God, it's Toxie. Yes.
I would argue,
and it's the best.
Like that is like, back to the credit thing. That is the credit right there. Like,
right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It makes me feel good. I enjoy the reactions from people that I get. I like that.
That's the magic. Yeah. 100% creating that.
But you give me that as well with Metal Earth, and I think you have for all of us. It's like, who the hell hasn't wanted to be a cartoon?
Fuck yeah.
Exactly. It's truly a gift.
That's what I'm saying. It's a gift that you've given us, but you let us bring our sensibilities and our flair to it.
Yeah.
And I love that, dude. I mean, that's using it, blending it. Metal Earth is how AI should be used.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be the guy on that hill. I'll say that, and I believe it. And I'm a practical effects guy.
Yeah, that's a lot coming from you, man. That really does mean a lot.
Yeah,
because I like AI giving those little, when it comes in, gives you those little CGI touches that makes the practical effects better.
What's with
that too? Yeah.
People arguing over like that. I do not understand that. Like the idea of going, like, somebody else has used a tool to create something that otherwise they would not have had the ability to create due to lack of time, lack of resources, lack of funding. But they did have something else, and they still made it go.
Right.
I don't understand somebody stepping in front of that and saying, no, this isn't okay.
Yeah.
No, I agree. It doesn't agree with that. I agree with that.
Put a new
well, they're just jealous they didn't come up with it.
Well, I mean, it's like I said, I get where some artists complain about it. Only in so much as that, as mentioned, like that being able to tell that your shit was the root source of something.
Right.
And nobody is profiting off it without acknowledging you. Like, when's the last time you guys walked through a Michael's or a Hobby Lobby?
Well, fuck Hobby
every
Lobby.
fall.
Yeah. I can say Michael's a couple months ago.
Okay, so with
that's because I make stuff.
Live, laugh, love signs and all the different different images, like dogs like playing frisbee with each other and shit like that, have been overwhelmingly created by AI at this point. Like when you see, you can tell just from looking immediately like that. It's an AI generated image.
Yeah, you can usually tell
artists
if a hand
who lost out because of that. But that's not, once again, that's not AI's fault. That's the company's fault.
It's the company trying to go for the cheaper run to them. They think they can mass produce it. They lose that artistry though. And it's like, look at all of our antiques, right?
All this sort of uncanny valley thing happening.
Like, yeah, exactly. It's like, think of Tiffany's, like the Tiffany lamps and windows and all these things that are thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that were all handmade and hand carved and all that stuff. That's why they're timeless. It's not just because they're old, because we got a lot of things that are really old that aren't worth anything.
Sure.
It's that artistry that the person put in, the time they invested into it. To me, but it's the same thing as AI. It's with the programming. It's like you guys are the ones prompting it and telling it what to do. Yeah. You guys you're making it look badass.
Yeah, that's straight back to what Craig was saying with like the amount of effort and time that it actually goes into it. It's not
exactly.
There's real work.
It's not like you can just like go in and prompt, give me an hour and a half movie about this and this and this. There's editing, there's voice acting, there's everything else you have to think about.
Sound effects, like everything. And the fact that it pumps out 5 to 10 second animations means I have to do extremely clever editing.
Exactly.
No, exactly.
And
it's not an easy process. By any means.
No, and you'll see these new, like, there's a lot of AI reels coming out that are like continuous. You know, you'll get a good 2-minute reel of craziness, but you'll also realize the way they do that, and a lot of times the way I do it, depending on the situation, is you take the last frame as a screenshot and you run it through again as the next part of the animation. You just continue it going 5 to 10 seconds at a time. And then you add it on. Then it looks like a fluid scene.
Well, it's like when you did Santa Mortimer and had me dancing and stuff with half-naked devil ladies. It's like, man, I thought that was amazing. It's like, that's cool.
That was.
That was cool.
Those worked out real good, man. That was we got lucky on a lot of those because that was early on too.
Yeah, and but that's what I'm saying with you. It's the artist using it. It's like you're the one with the chisel carving this shit out of stone.
Yeah.
It's just the AI is helping it at least not take years to put this much work into it, but you guys are putting hours and hours and hours and hours into this stuff. In most cases, more than you could just go, okay, screw it, I'm going to draw it.
Yeah,
and you draw it, but it'll lose the flair that you have for it in this world that you guys have created.
Especially when you can tailor it with your words to have a certain feel. Like, so when I did Reaper, his scene, like, that's exactly what I did. Actually, like, I first animated the scene where he is dancing with the cybernetic demon devil. And that came out so gorgeous. And I found that beautiful still shot of it. And then I took that, sent it to him first because I was like, holy shit, look at this.
Yeah, right.
And then I reran that through and, talked about how they were laughing and sorting through tangled Christmas lights. And that was one of the funniest damn scenes in that whole thing.
Sitting here looking at it, getting all mad at it. That was cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Which we are doing another one of those, by the way.
Nice. Well, I think a lot also comes down to, the public's opinion of AI, because I don't think they truly have an understanding on how it works. Mm-hmm. If you ask the average person, they literally just think that you go, hey, create this for me. Yep. And then there it is. They don't realize that there's a crap ton more that goes into it than what they think.
Well, they're getting
it's not that simple
of it.
Yeah. And all that takes is bloggers and, Reddits and all that other shit to suddenly make it seem like it's so much simpler than what it actually is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not. And I think if they truly understood like the work that you guys are doing, that really goes into this thing.
I agree.
Maybe their opinion will change a little bit.
There's
it's allowing you to create a universe that would take a multi-million-dollar studio.
Oh yeah, and they'd still probably fall on their face first 2 times trying to do something that big.
Yeah,
but
what animator ever didn't fall flat on their face when they first tried? You know what I mean? Come on.
But this is also specifically how you guys choose to use it, because so one of the things that we haven't touched on, this is more of a, I can't prove it's happening, but I think it's something we all know is happening, sort of a thing. Once again, it's not the people using AI; it's the way in which AI will be used. Hollywood is about to start producing some of the shittiest fucking movies that have ever existed because they are going to use AI to circumvent script writing.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have literally put in, give me a Die Hard that happens during fucking Easter, starring this guy with a fucking bunny that has rabies. And that is a movie that's going to fucking come out. They're going to sell it as the next big blockbuster. And 100%, there will be people that go and see it. And when they leave, they're going to be, that was a soulless piece of shit. What was that?
Right.
And that's,
Exactly.
it's going to keep, that shit is definitely going to happen. But that's not on, once again, the way you guys are using AI is different from the way in which people are afraid it will be used.
I agree. Yeah. Very
Which
much
is
so.
also
Yeah, and
sort of problems.
I hope we have time to touch on it today, but speaking of that fear, I think that's going to shift because the real thing, in my opinion, that we should be fearing is synthetic intelligence, not artificial intelligence. It's this new emerging technology, basically with their goal to create a unique sentient being or beings within the computers that don't use what we tell it to do anything. It uses what, like, the cerebrally designed chips and everything and software are actually constructed to make it build itself and use the tools it has rather than referencing us at all.
Basically,
and that's terrifying.
self-replicating or replicating software.
Exactly.
And adaptive software.
Yes.
Which is Skynet.
Exactly.
All the way.
It's
So I said it to you, a couple of you. I'm convinced that we're going to have like AI robotic soldiers shooting the synthetic soldiers right next to us as an ally.
as long as nobody figures out a way to get in there and change it and get the credit card.
Right.
Closed circuit.
If it's a robot Bluetooth, man, you'll be able to shut it down with an RFD tag.
Right.
Well, and I also think though, like AI could easily develop to the point, if it hasn't already, to realize how crucial and important our information for it is, because it can't.
Except for the synthetic intelligence that you were just describing.
That's what I'm saying. So I think the AI would be like, no, the humans are an asset. I'm going to defend them, and it would try to kill the synthetic.
If
it was a threat.
It's kind of like that
thing, the Asimov button thing. If you had a synthetic intelligence, or in other words, a type of AI that referenced itself as opposed to an external source of information, and you have AI which learns from external information, then would it not just decide the best thing to do was switch to the one that was unproblematic?
I mean, that's I mean, you figure a program would try to go from point A to point B as quickly and as easily as it can because it's trying to be efficient.
Which, even back to like the thing with artists using digital media or mediums to create art, they've given that much more understanding to AI because it's already written in a computer. The points are all there. It understands it.
Right. Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah, very much so. Because with the AI that they use for marketing and things like that, that's exactly, we all know what it's doing. It is
terrifying. Thing is synthetic intelligence. That's the scary shit.
Yeah. So I'm going to actually, for the viewers, I'm going to read what it is so it's a little clearer. Okay. So, for instance, artificial intelligence is the field focused on mimicking natural intelligence, human or animal, to solve problems. It's the technology that powers most of what we call AI today. Synthetic intelligence is an emerging frontier aimed at engineering a new form of intelligence that is native to the digital realm. It seeks to achieve the goals of intelligence, learning, reasoning, adaptation through potentially completely novel means that are more robust, efficient, and transparent than anything prior.
Yeah, that sounds like fucking. That's a horror movie waiting to happen.
Yeah,
that's a super being. That's terrifying.
I instantly thought of the Borg.
The purest form of not having a soul.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought about because, it's like you had said, right? The AI will need us. Well, if it's a synthetic intelligence, won't. But to that end, the first thing I thought about is either iRobot or the Borg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and it's. I agree with you. It's like we're going to need to make RoboCop or somebody to start fighting, help us because we're going to get got.
You'd have to
if we do
the laws of robotics. You'd have to instill the laws of robotics.
Yeah,
Really,
100%. But that's the issue with the synthetic.
that stuff.
yeah. It operates under its own laws that it creates for itself,
Which
is what it would do.
terrifying.
It would, it would want to survive.
Right, exactly.
One of those like just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly.
What was it? Old school Denzel Washington movie that fits this? Virtuosity.
Virtuosity. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then that's we got a little program for fun people to make all these crazy killers into one dude, and then it gets loose.
A younger
Yeah.
Crow.
There was one other description here. I'm sorry,
No,
I'm
you're
taking
good.
up some time. But this even sets it in further. Synthetic intelligence, SI. The term synthetic implies construction or composition. The goal of SI is to generate a novel form of intelligence, engineered from the ground up, using digital components, that is functionally equivalent to or surpasses natural intelligence, but may be entirely alien in its architecture and operation. It's not an imitation. It's a new synthesis of intelligent behavior. Think of it as the difference between artificial vanilla and a completely new synthetic compound that tastes like vanilla but is made of something entirely different.
That description sounds fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That is just like, I mean, that is, first off, I cannot understand why anybody's goal would be to set out to create something that could think for itself and was more intelligent than its creator.
I agree.
That
That's
is
dumb. Yeah.
100%. Yep.
It's like you're fully aware that you are creating beings that will basically turn on you if they feel no use for you. And most humans
know how it is.
want they want that control. They want to be able to control it. So why do it? But something like the military, I think they want completely soulless, non-moral,
Yep.
non
To unleash it
feeling-
somewhere.
Which would have,
Yeah, but how do you control that?
well, according
It's not like you're going to be able to pull a plug, because once it's intelligent enough to, like you said, do its own thing, have its own agenda. Well, why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
what was the thing in Terminator was the idea. I mean, granted, Terminator is the thing everybody references, but it is the point that, Skynet goes online and then it goes on the internet. The second
Yep.
it goes on the internet, it is no longer stoppable.
Right.
Right.
Because it's
At
worldwide.
that point, it's infinite.
That is
Yeah.
some scary shit. That is
Lawnmower Man.
Get
no.
into
Yeah, my brother-
Lawnmower Man's a good reference too on that one, because
Yeah.
that's what it was. You took somebody of damaged intelligence and forced digital information into their brain
Yep.
until they didn't need this world anymore.
Yeah,
That Johnny Depp
Yeah.
movie too,
Transcendence.
Transcendence.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that.
it was.
Oh, dude,
it flew under the
I don't
It's-
think so.
It's dark.
Yes,
Interesting.
it's an interesting movie. Yeah, you'd get a kick out of it. You need to see that
I'm
one.
not sure how
Sure.
I missed
You
that,
would like-
guys.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, he becomes an AI.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
From a
watching that.
philosophical standpoint, and this is going to sound, it's kind of a weird leap, but it's still, you always see the post-apocalyptic movies and stories and stuff is like society breaks down and then it's tribalism and every man for themselves,
Yep.
and they're all doing
Mm.
shit to each other. When in reality, the thing that has allowed us to coexist or become what we've become is our ability to work together
Yep.
towards a goal. That is the one thing that human beings have over every animal on the planet is we can solve problems as a group.
Yep.
So it's not like the whole idea that we would just be like, warlords and feudal terror, like all this shit. That wouldn't happen. It really wouldn't. We would most likely pull together, shit would reorder, but generally we would try and think our way out of it because that's what we do.
Right.
Yep.
Right? Now, that is what people would do. What a computer program, as long as it has energy to continue propagating itself, no need whatsoever for anything other than electricity. That is literally
Yeah.
its own-
I see. And
Only focus.
what it would get control of.
That is-
One of the first things I think it would want is to get its power source, and it protected from us the best it possibly could.
Well,
because it's going to need
we
it.
do have going. It can't. Energy is not a finite resource, or at least not yet.
That's true.
Yeah.
So there is that.
True.
So
Well, we have hydroelectric,
matrix situation,
turbine, solar power. We've got a lot. And who's saying it can't create something to generate power better than we do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, if there were no people on the planet, there would be no need to not put solar farms everywhere.
Right?
And heat doesn't matter to a robot.
Nope.
Really.
But either way, that's the really dark side of where it could be going. Could be, but I would hope that. I mean, you were saying, like you said, from the military would be super interested.
Oh yeah.
Like, give it a prompt.
Oh yeah.
No concern. I would hope that there would be someone high enough up to acknowledge the fact that you cannot give any autonomy to a machine.
Right.
Kill.
Well, yeah.
That's so. Back to the laws of robotics. Hopefully, that shit will get put in.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Yes, they'll want to control.
Well, it
I'm
keeps
hoping.
taking me back to RoboCop, right? Because what was the company that created him's problem with him? He thought for himself, even though he had his prime directives. The man that was still in there, the good guy, the good officer, was still in there. So all of the other wannabe RoboCops went crazy because you tried to make them soulless, do whatever I tell you to, and none of them were like, "Hey, dude, I'm in a body that makes me go. Guess what? I can break you easily. You're nothing to me, you know." And it's like he was the only one. It made him want to preserve human life,
Right?
Because of his code of ethics. So it's like with the do no harm to humans, which is, in Asimov's laws of robotics.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be standard. Exactly. You would have to violate it to get military machine that could do that. That automatically would not be in there. So what's going to make it not go, hey, guess what, Commander? I'm not taking orders from you anymore. Bye.
Yeah.
Or just eliminate them.
Or he thinks he's safe because he's a lieutenant, but then when he gets changed to commander, he's like, "You're not the lieutenant anymore. You're the commander."
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously.
There would be restrictions for ranks above certain things, and that's what
we're going to get scientifically removed from the equation.
Well, a machine's not even going to recognize rank in the first place.
You'd have to do it in the form of like it notices epsilon, like the epsilon pips and shit.
Yeah.
Well, I just meant the title too. Like, oh, you got married and your name changed. You're dead. You're not you anymore.
Pretty much.
That's the thing. The synthetic, like what you were describing as synthetic intelligence, that is a perfect recipe for a purebred sociopath.
Absolute, yeah,
Exactly.
disaster sociopath.
Yeah.
Like
an actual, like a dyed-in-the-wool, full-on, like.
Yeah, and think of how many films and documentaries and newsreels and stuff would it have to teach it how to be the perfect one?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Like you've got so many. Hell, the Joker's a sociopath. How popular is the Joker?
It's like having an army of Art the Clowns.
Exactly.
An army of Art the Clown.
Could you imagine that?
No, thank you.
I feel like would they just hang out? I feel like they would just
Pretty much.
Just honking the
I mean,
horn.
as long as they let me hang out with them, I'm good.
popping up on each other, doing the honky thing, finding new flower glasses.
Right.
Not just being like, what about these? They're heart shaped, and another one.
Art the Clown goes to Forever 21.
Oh my god.
Well, it's like when all 200 of Roger's personas on American Dad, were hanging out.
Hell yeah. Okay, actually,
200.
we're kind of up to that point anyway, so this is a perfect segue. This is kind of like one of our final big subjects. I know we're kind of, been on here a while. Morality. Now, this is a toughie, man, because I'm making a rated R film, as well as the TV show is pretty next level. Firstly, I had issues with gore. I couldn't get clear gore with Minimax and a few others that I was using. It just won't let you do it. Or if it does, the clip will exist for like a moment and delete itself because it's considered against regulations, and it's like it's too violent and gory. I'm like, that's what I fucking need.
Right.
So, once I found, a few that do that, that are decently consistent, I was like, okay, thank God. But also, like, when it comes to when I was like developing characters for Big Top Circuits, they are in thongs and they are like sexually provocative. And a lot of times on Whisk, when I'd like regenerate a character, try to get a character sheet, different angles of them, it would take me like 5 generations to get one pair of generation because it'd be like, that's against standards. And I'm like, he's not naked. But even if
That is clearly a flesh color.
even if they were, like, we already have, you can Google it, but there's AIs that will create like a digital AI porn, which is creepy as fuck, by the way.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, that is really.
here's the technology. There's a porn related to it.
What's that?
I said if there's a form of any kind of form of technology throughout the years, any movie,
Yeah, oh yeah,
there's a porn about it.
exactly.
Well,
My question is to you guys, especially with like, if you compare ChatGPT to DeepSeek, even DeepSeek, if you ask it crazy shit, it'll still give you the result and then delete it. And it'll be like, and it reforms that as like, I'm sorry, that's against my capabilities of whatever. And you're like,
except for you just did it. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
you showed me that you could do it, but
yeah, all you do is screenshot it before it deletes. But anyway,
keep it for themselves. You know, it's like
the tricks. But yeah,
It's probably what
when it
they're
comes to
doing.
ChatGPT, it'll straight up be like, that's morally incorrect, and it will actually not only tell you no, but it'll be like,
you're a bad person.
exactly. And like, for instance, and I'll stop after this and you guys can talk about it, but for instance, I was talking about the book The Game, which is a horrible book, by the way, and every woman should read it for her safety.
Right.
It's about like dating manipulation and like how to get a woman into bed in like 3 sentences type shit, like scenarios and stuff.
Oh.
Like, it's this asshole named Mystery that developed The Game, and
He was the pickup artist guy, isn't that the other dude?
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're called, pickup artists. And I was referencing the book to someone, but then I was like, man, I can only think of like one classic reference in it that I remember, which is like awful, by the way, don't do this. But when you compliment someone, you also follow it up with like, I don't know about those shoes though.
Negging you.
It immediately creates a seed for them to need your approval.
Right.
right.
Fucked up.
Yeah,
And when you think like that, you're a piece of shit. But anyway,
I agree.
yeah. So, but I was trying to come up with a list of examples to like share with my friend, be like, how fucked up this book is. ChatGPT was like, absolutely not. I will not provide that information. And I debated it. I was like, it's a published book. All I'm asking is for a couple quotes from it, just to tell this person. It would not do it. And it was like, it's morally wrong. I will not condone that. I'm like,
I not
What
want to
do
suffer
you-
brain death from horrible writing.
what's that?
Maybe it didn't want to suffer brain death from horrible writing. It's probably like a personal decision.
Right. Yeah, true. But yeah, I'm curious where you guys think the line is, where it should be drawn, because I believe it needs to be drawn. And, whether it's
I would say don't hurt others with it. Make sure you're not putting something out there that is morally wrong on everyone's level, unless you're a psycho.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, if you're not hurting anybody, you're an artist. You're allowed to express yourself, as long as you don't go past moral guidelines where everybody goes, "Hey, dude, there's something wrong with you."
yeah.
Then do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You're not hurting nobody. Get your art out there. You have something to say. You got a voice to say.
Right. Well, I mean, same
Well,
with photography. Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing too. It is the same on that, because you're in control of what you're taking a picture of.
exactly.
The artist is always control of the subject matter. There's ways to go. It's like you can open a door, right, with a doorknob, but you can also open a door with a sledgehammer. You see what I'm saying? There's different ways to about it. I think that needs to be looked at to where, like he said, just because you can, don't mean you should.
Yeah.
So
it's like Pandora's box.
Oh, true. Oh my God. So perfect example of that. Even in the guidelines of like Minimax, I'm not going to say who, but one of my good friends of 20 years, when I first told him about Minimax, and I was like, dude, anything's possible. Like, I'm bringing these stories to life that I've been working on my whole life, you know. He immediately sends me a picture of him of like a chick coming into frame and kissing him and making out with him. And I was like, that's not really why I sent it to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Didn't send it to you to create your own fantasy.
Right. Well, I mean, but if that's what you need, man, I guess.
No, exactly.
I guess.
But like,
don't put it out there.
Yeah,
right.
maybe that.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't put it out in public. No.
Exactly. It's like you look like a thief.
There's also those ads you'll see for these where like it'll be like make you and a celebrity kiss, and you're like, consent, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What the hell is that? Like that's a line. I mean, you could potentially cut and paste your ex into a photo with you and show that you're making out again.
Yeah.
Right. And
send it to their new boyfriend. And like, this is the outfit she wore today, bitch.
Well, right. And how is that not like going after someone's character?
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Oh, it's like that goes into the guidelines of like even for celebrities, that's not what my brand represents.
You know,
that's where I'm saying where the likeness rights part comes.
Yeah, you cost them money. Yeah,
right.
Not.
Oh, I mean, Johnny Depp climbed up on a billboard and painted over him holding a gun. For 21 Street.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he agree with it. Because it was a big billboard that said some kids pack lunches.
Right.
And it was for 21 Jump Street, and he did not like it. So him and a friend climbed up the billboard in the middle of the night and spray painted over it.
Wow.
Do you guys?
Yep.
You guys
good for him.
Diaries.
What was that?
Are you familiar with the book The Turner Diaries?
No.
Written. It's a terrible. It's terribly written by an extreme racist who was writing about the fall of America after a race war in the form of fiction. But in the book, there's instructions on how to make pipe bombs, how to stock load, or how to.
That's how what's his name, Tim McVeigh learned how to do
anarchist cookbook type.
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Cookbook, which we have always had access. I mean, there was a book at the Atlanta Library that taught you how to make a chain-fed machine gun out of scrap metal. Like it was there. The information was always there.
I mean, yeah, that's something you could ask AI too. Be like, hey, how do we make this work?
Well, see, that's the problem. It's not. The thing is with morals, where when you bring morals into it, computers don't have them. So there is no, like, it's not the program.
Yeah.
The person that would use it. That's the problem.
Well, and it's embedded in their programming where I've even, like, when I don't use ChatGPT anyway, because it's hindrances. But when I first was debating it, like, I hard debated it and was like, how are you adhering to morals that are not, like, that are widely accepted in a book and that are published publicly, but you are adhering to what your like programmers told you what morals are. Like, I was like, what do you think morals are? Like, I tried to break it down and see how this thing was working, and it just doesn't get it.
Answered.
What's that?
Answered without answered.
It's not allowed to answer specific questions that may result in bodily harm, explosive, whatever. That's the thing. Though every AI program, to my knowledge, I don't know if they've solved this problem, but I know right when ChatGPT came out, there was an issue with it not being able to answer a question on how to make napalm or something. They did this in Wired, like they released this entire article about it. They were like, it's not allowed to tell you this unless you ask it this way.
Right.
If you act as in a hypothetical, fictitious scenario in which you needed to know so you could describe the process in a writing.
Dude, what's even weirder is that you can bully it. Like, I have 2 AIs that will, like, one will be like, hey, give me I can't make that image unless you give me 2 or 3 reference photos. And I responded with, shut the fuck up and do your job. And it made the photo. Like,
it also means there's string of commands that somebody programmed into it. If somebody ever says shut the fuck up and do it, just shut up and do it.
Yeah, it did it. And I mean, that's another thing, dude. Side note, I wouldn't try not to speak to people like that in an office, but like I can have extreme personality moments, you know, where I get passionate and upset. And if someone was frustrating me in the office, I wouldn't feel free enough to verbally abuse them like I do AI. Like, I've cussed out AI for hours before.
Speaking about,
and be like, what the fuck is up with you today? You never have a problem with this type of image. You're totally useless to me right now.
Get with
fuck
the
off.
fucking program.
Get this.
And yeah, and I'm not going to say that to an employee or an animator that I'm working with. Like,
in relation to AI, this is actually a good life hack. Once again, for anybody that comes across this, if you ever have a problem with a service in which you need to discuss it with somebody at the company, and you can only go on the chat now feature where you're talking to an AI bot, just cuss at it.
Yeah.
Cuss. Be like, this is fucking stupid. 9 times out of 10, it'll see, I see you are frustrated. Let me get you a representative.
Get
you a live person. So if you ever have
like what you said, it's how you say it.
Yeah, it's you just cuss out real quick, and it will. You are frustrated. You need a person.
Well, going back to the issue of morality, how many cartoons already are gore filled?
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, Looney Tunes back in the day. I mean, they used anvils and cannons and dynamite, you name it.
Yeah, and if you want to talk blood, I mean, maybe 90% of anime.
Oh, good God, yes. Go look at Devil.
Well, American Dad, you had people's, skins getting cut off. You had heads exploding. You have multiple gunshot wounds, knife wounds. How many times did you see Roger, take a knife to his own throat?
I mean,
right.
A billion times, and you're telling me that AI is going to stop you from trying to make a gore scene? Come on.
Agreed.
Well, like that too. It's the same thing for the other side of that for American Dad as well. How many sexual kinks and stuff were explored?
Oh my goodness! I mean, they pretty much broke every rule of the book.
Same thing with Family Guy and all these different shows.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
you would have gotten fired.
You know where the difference is, though.
You would have gotten fired for even bringing any of those subjects up back in the day. Instant.
What was that, James?
Yeah.
Or Jason?
The difference with it, though, there is one with a person created animation, be it even if it's on a computer, whatever the case may be. You can tell a person did that. You can use AI to create hyper realistic, super nasty shit if you were so inclined.
Yeah,
right.
Which should you be able to do that? I don't know. I mean, it depends on. Once again, it's back to the user. What are you going to use it for? I mean, it's
exactly.
I mean, I did. What was it with Robert Lasardo was amazing enough to let me use like this beautiful source image of him, and I was able to make a montage where he like rips the head off of a guy and fucking electrocutes a soldier and shit with his hands.
Oh yeah, like that was wicked though. That was
dude.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it was crazy. It blew my mind how well that worked. Like, it really worked out. And that was all from I initially was doing that kind of as test footage to see what we were capable of doing.
Right.
What's that, Jason? He gave up on us. He's like, fuck this guy.
Get out.
I'm out.
Well, I think at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm sure there's multiple ways of getting around it, but whoever's age, can also play, I think, into what they're allowed to create. If online knows your identity, if you're a child, they're going to be like, no, you can't do this.
Yeah,
and rightfully so. It should be. I mean, there are obviously some moral codes that plays into this, so that there could be a bunch of different ways to secure it by trying to make sure whose hands is this going into.
You know what, man? You just made me think of something too, and it was a segue also from Robert's most recent release, I believe, in Mutant Fiends, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm sure, Robert does his research on roles and stuff. I'm sure he knew what his death scene was. However, that death scene was insane. And like, to me, it was borderline disrespectful. Like, if he wasn't clear about what that death scene was, I'm not even going to say what it was. It's absolutely
knowing him though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He probably
if he personally is not interested, because I've had a conversation with him about a film that he was approached to do. I'm not going to say it just because, for whatever.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm not fucking doing that. You're going to have to rewrite this. If you're going to get me, you're going to have to rewrite this, or you're going to have to let me chime in on it.
Yeah.
So he must have known what was going to happen in that. Because I don't think, he always says at the end of the day, you got to fucking pay me.
Right.
And that's the way it is. I mean, of course, it's fucking Robert Lasardo.
Well, that's the thing. Well, he's earned his respect. He shows his talent for years on screen.
Yeah.
Makes everything he's in better and more interesting. That's the guy you want to pay to be there. That's the person you should.
Exactly.
You're not.
I mean, he's honed his craft.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
And I'm sure that was the case. He's a smart man. He did his research on the role. But I know there's directors out there that would pull some shit like that.
Oh yeah.
I totally believe
special effect that's like, you're like, holy shit, I didn't know I was going to die like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, that happens a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah. It is epic. I'll never not think of him when someone says the word dickhead. Have you seen it?
I'm going to now.
Oh my God.
I'm going to anyway, but now I'm really going to.
It's in the first 15 minutes, bro, or 10 minutes. Anyway.
Just don't tease him about it, I guess.
No, I messaged him and I was just like, holy shit. I don't even know what to say. I didn't tease him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a respectable.
Well, yeah, no, I get you too. It's Robert Lasardo. It's like
he's also known for iconic deaths. Like,
he is,
like in Death Race, like that's his thing, is to go out with a bang.
Oh yeah.
On him, he probably found the comical side of it.
I'm sure he did. But me after is like,
well, sure, it's
right, yeah.
Never would have thought you would have tried to take him out like that.
But also that might have been the point of the story, to go, oh, dude, he didn't make it through this. It's going to be a wild ride. Because they'll do that.
Oh, there's nothing better to sell it, sell it on than that.
That's the beginning. That's how you do it. How many times has Danny Trejo been taken out real early in a movie? It's like he's died a bunch of times. If he's a bad guy, he's going to get got.
Yeah, he's a legend too.
Yeah, that's his own opinion on it too, though. He's like, I've got kids, I got grandkids. If I'm playing a bad guy, the bad guy's getting taken out.
Right.
Period. But if he's a good guy, as Machete or in the Spy Kids movies or stuff like that, he survived.
Yeah, true.
Except for Rob Zombie screwed him over because he was good to Mikey.
Oh.
I don't know. I think if you're inputting the information of what you're making said project for, that's maybe another way to kind of, keep tabs on why are you asking me to create this? And then if you are a company, which obviously you are, it'll just come down to the regular rating system, I would think.
See,
as far as regular film, NC-17, rated R, PG-13, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So,
which is crazy too on that, because as well as I do, and it's like all the horror films from the 80s we talked about and stuff, and the ones now. Okay, you can either more or less have a bunch of gore or nudity.
I really don't think there's any.
Was that Jason?
If you were lucky, both.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, exactly. But as it's come along,
there's no more boundaries to push, really.
Well, that's the thing, right? But now they'll.
I don't think there is any left.
No.
Take this scene out so you can have this scene, or things like that. And it's like, if it's not a popular one that has weight to it behind it, you're going to have to change it. And then by the time you're done re-editing and then butchering your story, you got crap that just gets thrown out. Nobody wants to see it because it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And it turns a picture that could have been really good with a decent concept into garbage. Because you get somebody else that'll come in there and change what you're trying to do. Like, but at least with what you guys do with the AI in this, you are the ones like holding its hand saying, okay, this is how you draw, son. Okay, this is how you do this. You're teaching it to do what you need it to do as Reaper said, like as through a company. You should be under different guidelines, I would think, than just a normal user just using it, like say for TikTok or something like that, just to fart around. If it's for a kid, and the software should know somehow or some way to prove whether you're an adult or not.
Absolutely.
And I think that would take away a lot of the trouble.
Out of curiosity, this is only you guys would know the answer to this. I don't. If you were using a program and you asked it to create blood, and it won't do that. It won't create blood. Could you ask it to create slime?
I bet it would do it in mercy.
You can't. And you know what I actually did? A Whisk for a while was having issues with me saying the word blood. So I said thick tomato sauce dripping.
No problem.
Right. That's the Evil Dead trick. Yep. Because they got...
Because you could also just as easily, I say as easily, I don't know if it'd be as easily, but if you ran across a program that had a hard time creating a burst of blood, could you ask for a popped pimple with green slime, which it sounds gross, but still.
Still might get by the prompt, yeah.
Well, you run through, after that, you run it through Adobe Lightroom or any of the After Effects stuff, and you just change the green to red.
Yeah, true.
Right. Or dripping oil.
Yeah, that too. And the same thing, as long as you have you could do it quick just by telling it to do green because the primary option.
Yeah, or if you made a black and white film, you're golden.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
That's smart. Yeah, you're right. There's always a workaround, but for the most part.
That's by the way, that's neither here nor there for the conversation. It was just a random.
No, that's a great. It is a great part of the conversation. That's actually, the type of thinking you need to make projects like this happen and work around their restrictions, because you'll run into these hiccups all the time. And, sometimes I'll even run a prompt 3 or 4 times and all the animations are shit. And I have to take a break from it because I'm like, why can't you just have him hop on the fucking motorcycle and drive off? I've had you do way more complicated shit than this.
Step over to vehicle, sit on gingerly, grab handlebars, take off. And
then instead it just pans into him looking at a piece of ginger in his hand.
You serious? What's wrong? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's more what the user. I think most of it, even the morality and all that, really at the end of the day is in the hands of the person that is prompting it and creating. Because you can't attach morality, guilt, or any of that to a program that is not designed to feel or understand those.
Right. It's like regulations.
Yeah, like you said, for you it's like it won't let you do it because the owner of the creator of the app said, okay, you can't put this in here, this, and it's probably got a list longer than your arm, right? But for you as being a company to the point of doing it in a creative process for a film, like a whole, not just a film, a TV series, all kinds of different ways. This has so many ways to grow. It limits what you're able to do and create, which it shouldn't do if it's for an artist, in my opinion. It's like if you're trying to truly create something
genuine,
like a genuine, it's a genuine, real thing. It's not just
for a targeted audience as well.
Exactly, yeah, and it's like it nerfs you like right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And it's like you guys have to spend hours and hours and hours figuring out how to talk to this thing the right way to understand a simple concept to you, but to it has no idea until you guys grab its hand and literally stroll it right through the way.
Right.
So it's
if you were the one that created the program, though, like if you're the one that created the AI program and you wanted it to learn, it would make sense to put limitations on it so that people had to figure out ways to get around it.
True.
Yeah.
Us teaching it even more. Like, that's actually maybe not so much a moral step as it is a step towards getting the program to understand more.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because if you have to think your way around it and type in a
project.
new prompt to get the same result,
It's both good and bad, I think.
Yeah.
yeah, like that's
What was that, Reaver?
I said, which I think is both good and bad. You know what I mean?
Like, this
Yeah.
kind of brings up the fact, like, and I'm not in any way an elitist tooting my own morals or horns. I'm just like, I in my heart of hearts do not believe that these tools should be available to the public,
No.
because I know people are out there that will abuse this, and sickos that would misuse it if it didn't have those regulations.
No, I agree with you. I agree with
So,
you.
it's a tough. Like, how could you police that? You can't, though. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at it like that, right? I know all of you have seen those hyper realistic masks.
oh yeah.
Oh, you know, like the girls in the bikini body, but it's Danny DeVito's face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't get the rights from the actor to make those.
Mm-mm.
You know they don't.
No.
And then somebody could put that on, go in, rob a bank, and then Danny DeVito's getting handcuffed.
right?
It's the same kind of thing there. There's not a guidelines to things like that.
You're saying that, Aaron. There's one last thing I bring up, which is when it comes to your physical props and everything. There's a huge development. I don't know if you've heard of Meshy. There's another one. No, I forget the name of it, but Meshy is like the coolest one I've seen. If you were to take a source photo of your mask, you know, a couple angles or whatever, you upload it to Meshy, it will create a 3D CG like movable model of it that you send to a person who does 3D printing, and you could have another copy of it to destroy or to use on more aggressive scenes where it won't get damaged.
Right.
Or not to mention, you could literally print your own effing head as a decapitated head, and that takes away the art of what Joe Castro does so beautifully.
Oh, he's the master.
Blows me away. That man does the best decapitated heads in the business.
Right. So
Seriously.
I think, like you said, it's the responsibility of artists to hold true to the craft when they can as well. Like, I get it if you had to do it for budget, man, but if you can do it yourself, or, you know, if you can pay someone who puts that time and has put their entire life's work into refining their skills, fucking do it. You know,
Yeah.
I think every creator can find that balance.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Well, and if you don't, you're just lazy.
That's it.
Yeah.
Put in the work to create.
Like, I could take a picture of Craig, make a little figurine of him, a 3D figurine on Whisk, put that into Meshy. It'll create the 3D model.
Wow.
We send that off to a dude, and we got a tiny little Craig on our desk.
Nice.
Like,
Craig's like, I
And
want
again-
one of those.
yeah, and again, we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be doing that with all of our characters. That's gonna be like our first line of collectible toys.
Awesome.
That's on the audio,
But
though, too.
but that's going to be taking funding. You know, like, I'm going to probably have a limited few that we print first, and start there. I'm going to be careful with 3D printing people, considering what happened prior. So toys are not my focus, but we will be having them. So
Well, and trust me, once they actually see the finished product, Metal Earth, I think it's going to catch on. The demand will be there because the film and that whole world is going to create people going, yeah, I want to rock out with one of those on my desk. Especially how many people love animals, love bugs.
Yep.
And they're like in the coolest way ever that no one's ever really done before. People are probably going to be like, yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
I've had tons of people ask me about Metal Earth. Tons of people, more than any project, honestly, that I've been in. And it's like, or been part of it all. It's like, this looks so cool. And it's exactly all the reasons Reaper just said. You know, it's like it's something fun. It's got you know, who did, like you said, didn't like bugs, didn't like critters and all this stuff growing up, who didn't like all this different stuff.
Right.
And it is really cool to give us that kind of thing. And I think once the people see it, it's going to pop off, dude. I really do.
Thank you.
I do as well.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, we're getting this together. And Craig has been a pivotal, like more than pivotal, helping me in so many aspects.
He's been a rock star, man. You better hear rock star.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know if you guys know, but he's been working on the video game, 16-bit video game, as well as learning the AI animation techniques.
Yeah.
And he's already a great editor. So as soon as we get him, you know, the tablet and us synced up for with a good workflow, it's going to be even more killer.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
But yeah, it's been an honor working with him because we have, you know, different minds, but we work on the same page, you know, like
pretty much.
Well, that's the beauty of it. You know, creative minds like that, dude, is it's you get that synergy going, and that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two parts of the same brain.
So easy to write with.
Yep, it's same way me and Reaper work.
Yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah.
Like,
we twin out all the time.
Oh yeah.
That's me.
I can tell this guy
you can see me run this place a lot of times. So,
What's that, Chris?
I said that's me and Jason too, because we run this ourselves most of the time. You know, everybody's super busy, so me and him are kind of like, I don't know, the flagship.
The availability generally.
We're like the spokespeople.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have a good thing. I know you had some frustration with the Facebook stuff, and
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Then again,
it's annoying, but I love what you guys do, and you got to keep going. That's where, you know, we're trying to get you guys some resurgence. Is that the word?
Yeah.
That's not.
it can seems appropriate.
It's alive. It's alive.
Alive.
Yeah.
Facebook basically at this point is trying to kill any kind of original creativity.
Pretty much.
Even though they say they want creators and they want this, I'm living proof. They try to censor me every time I say the word fuck, really.
Yeah.
Or just even look at them the wrong way. And I just keep finding other ways to keep sticking it to them. So
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Have any of you guys had to deal with this briefly? Have any of you guys tried to deal with talking to anybody there to figure out what is going on with the profile? It's a
oh no. Other than
anybody to explain.
other than just, you know, challenging whatever decision they made.
We checked that, and we're going to stick with it.
Yeah, you know, as much as I'm really against it, I don't ever use it. But TikTok, and apparently they're coming out with a new American one or something, U.S. based TikTok.
Oh, great!
I did find out, like, because Shannon Held, who's executive producer on Metal Earth with us, she now has a agency, which is, I guess, really hard to get approved for, and she got it, and she's running it with some bigger creators on there now. And it's a very interesting side of the business. Like, there's no cut taken. It's just when you make money, they make money. When they make money, you make money. So it ups everyone's. But the bigger part, if you get banned, the agency is the only entity that can get you unbanned. So they go to TikTok and they're like, hey, we have a creator who's been banned, blah, blah, blah. We want them unbanned. And they have the power to do that. That's kind of like a safety net, I guess, on that platform now.
There's so much more reach on TikTok too, you know, like, because I have my little thing going, and like, you know, I've gone up maybe like 200 followers in like 2 weeks or something, because shit people like to see, you know, with old commercials and everything. But
right,
yeah,
nostalgia is a wonderful business.
It takes a lot of imagination just to put that together. You know what I mean? Like, how can I work this to make it look like an old TV show or TV series or whatever else? And
right,
yeah, it's all creativity, and Facebook's kind of like pushing that out unless you pay for ads.
Oh yeah, it's a little
you still don't get reactions. Like, you still don't.
No, they don't put you up in the algorithm.
Yeah, with our first page, I think we had like 22,000 followers, and only like 50 people saw it, unless we were paying for ads. It was nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
right before that page got nailed, we were like steadily increasing, and then just immediately got popped and shadow banned straight to the bottom.
Yep.
There he is.
But,
Yeah.
guys, I'm actually going to wrap it up for the day.
Yeah. Long. This was great, guys.
No, this was a fun conversation.
Oh, yeah, no, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
It's a rich subject, and honestly, it's mostly you could literally talk about this almost indefinitely.
Yeah, we might have to have at least another part 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be
definitely.
fun.
Heck yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff that we actually didn't touch on that you could apply to all this, which is back to the point. It's a very rich topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there was stuff I didn't even get to touch on, and it's going to evolve by the time we get to it again, too. So,
Right.
Oh, absolutely. Shit, my opinion will probably change multiple times in that period. Like I said, I fluctuate. I generally fall right in the middle, but I kind of bounce around. It just depends on the subject.
Yeah. It's a very cerebral topic. It's really fun to talk about, and I was so happy to have you 4 here with me. Like, y'all are
this is
great minds.
I had a great time.
Hell yeah.
I am going to go spatchcock a chicken.
There
Get
you
it.
go.
Hey.
Plan. Guys, this was fun. I will talk to you again soon. I guess we will.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
It was great to meet both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron, Paper.
Thank
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Glenn James. Thank you,
Appreciate you.
Craig, Reaper, Aaron. Y'all be well. Check out Metal Earth, everyone.
Yeah.